Paused. All right, welcome. It's July 14th, Sunday at 2 p.m. for our Ashley County Nurse Honor Guard meeting. So currently present, myself, Nicole Hamilton, looks like Amanda Smith, Miss Tiffany Strebeck, and then Angela is traveling via phone. So we're on Zoom, and if you have already looked in the Facebook group, there is an agenda for today. I have tried to share it, but it's clearly not working on my computer, so I do apologize. Um, so let me pull it up. Right now, we have 11 paid members for 2024. Of those 11 paid members, that include all of us here, plus Barbara Shockley, Trudy Willis, Mackenzie Farrell, Loretta Stale, Tammy McLemore. I think everyone except one person that's paid this year is, quote, actively as far as engaged. They jump in the group. There's only been one that sent me a message that although she's active, she's not going to attend anything, but still, wants to stay in the group. So that's a great thing. We have not yet had a chapter request for a funeral in Ashley County as of yet, but we do have 25 chapters through the state with 49 counties covered. I believe Arkansas has 76 or 5 counties. So we're definitely more than 75% there. The state chapter has done 285 tributes, 3 living tributes, and one of those was ours. We were the second one to do one for our chapter. They've just recently done an honorary member induction from a chapter request, and they've recently done a virtual tribute. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that in just a little bit. But we've got about 10 things real quickly we'll go over. So for our Facebook group, we have not had a meeting since our fundraiser at the Armadillo Festival, just because of holidays and just kind of lack of agenda items. But we went ahead and had a summer meeting today. And previously, when we first established our group, just allowed anyone and everyone to attend our group. And then this year, when we did our membership meeting, we scaled the group back to just active paid participants. Well, moving forward, the board wants us to allow people to join again to the Facebook group, and then we as a chapter just kind of decide how long we leave them in there as a perspective view, because we've got so many chapters now and there's only one Facebook page, and so sometimes people just kind of want to be in the group for a week or two just to kind of see like who's there, what's going on. They can then read the like new welcome member pinned post and like the volunteer process and like what it kind of looks like for them to make a decision. And then it's up to our individual chapters how long we want to, quote, let them be in prospective mode before we remove them again if they haven't paid. So today I need you guys to decide. Elsie recommended, hey, leave it in there 2 weeks or maybe a month, but we do have to make a decision, and then someone has to be responsible for us keeping it truly up to date. In order to be a part of the group, this chapter is set up for a person to fill out their nursing license number, and then we're supposed to verify that, or I'm supposed to verify that, and that way they have a license in good standing or retired in good standing. So with that, sometimes people will just click the group and they won't fill out all the info, and then I have to like reject it and then send them a message. But then if I'm not friends with them on Facebook, they may not see it because it goes to like an outer box. So if you invite anybody to our Facebook group, it is still considered a private group, but they can be in prospecting mode is the new little button that we can allow. So what do you guys think as far as timeline? How long would we want to leave somebody in our group before I then remind them that, hey, would they like to join? And any further questions? What do you guys think?
I think a month sounds fine.
Okay.
I was thinking a month too, because that way they could kind of see a meeting and kind of maybe get a better grasp of what we're doing or what's going on with our group and what it's about.
And so, like today, I've recorded this meeting. So, if all the technology works well, I'm going to post it probably however the Facebook group will allow me to. It might just be a link, it could be like an uploaded file, or I don't really know. Just that way, there is something there. We haven't previously recorded them just because we haven't had much engagement. Plus, we're a new chapter. There's not a whole lot just yet. But from here on out, I'll be doing a summary of each meeting and posting kind of the information we've covered or some decisions. Also, Elsie is looking to make a what we call, I believe, a general state group. Now, the board wants us to all to keep our individual chapter groups, but there is now a need for like just a general group for everyone that wanted to be involved, because even here recently, they've had some funeral requests for chapters that people weren't able to participate, and they had to use people from other chapters, and then also to disseminate different information about crossover things, without it then being too much for like everybody's chapter posting in the bigger chapter, if that makes any sense. So if you do happen to see Elsie set that up, it doesn't mean ours is going away. It just means there will be a state group one. But the goal is always to drive the public to the general Facebook page for the Arkansas Nurses Honor Guard. Okay, so let's just do a month then. All right. I do believe Miss Lori, if you click members, Lori is a prospective member that I added a few weeks ago. She may hop on here today or not. And so she's kind of doing that right now too, like looking around, see if she knows anybody that's here, looking at our files list, kind of what we've done over the last year, looking through the picture. So basically, I think I'll just put it as a task for me is at the end of the month, just kind of touch back with who looks like is newer. I should be able to see that with my administrative settings, I believe. Now, if this was like a group of like 400, it might be where we need to get some other moderators, and I would have to get Elsie to like click some different chapter buttons on Facebook. But right now, I think it lets me access seeing some insight information like that. Okay, great. Our ledger report is currently we have $468.08. So since our Armadillo Festival, the Rose fundraiser, if you were there, thank you so much for helping participate. We purchased those roses out of pocket at a discount from Yours and Vine. Then we sold, I believe, half or 5 or 6 that day, and the rest our chapter members were able to take with them, and the board was fine with that. So, did we make any money? Most likely, I think if I looked at the math, it pretty much cut even, not of course considering our time or sweat equity that we did. And then from there, the money that we got for different donations that day were sent through the mail. Elsie and I had a really huge scare because, as typical, when we send things in the mail, I guess we all take it for granted. Long story short, our chapter funds took over 2 months to get to her at Imboden. So we were like really sweating it, right? So moving forward as a chapter leader, she's not having us mail anything to the post office right now because there's been major delays. I think she even described to me where she sent maybe a cape to a member, and it took a lengthy amount of time too. I can't remember what the time was, whether it was 60 days or 45 days, but I guess we just really take it for granted, the mail system, right? So we were just really lucky when that showed up, with those donations and the money that I needed to get back to her for all of that. We did accrue I think one member from that, and then a few of you guys thankfully did the T-shirt campaign, and part of that funding from the state level trickled down to give us some money into our account. So right now we have almost $470. So I think that is a wonderful asset for us. Any thoughts on that? All right. The tribute request form is something new. I think I can create it and put it in the Facebook file button. So if someone were to want to have a honoree for an actual funeral, not a living tribute, then the process would be, as usual, contact our state chapter or contact somebody in our local chapter. And then now we have an official tribute form that has questions, things that we fill out in relationship with the family to know a little bit of back history about the nurse who's passed, including, their nurse history, where they work, any specifics the family would want. So I think that's a wonderful attribute coming from the larger national conference that LC and a few members from Arkansas went to. We've got some very standardized forms that will be really helpful. So check out that after our meetings when you have time and let me know what you think about it. It's what they want us to use. And I think it's going to be really helpful to keep anyone that has an active membership in our group to know what to do if we ever get a request. Because as a reminder, if we were to get a request today and maybe I'm on vacation, you're on vacation, none of us have ever done one together, it would be whoever's available would lead the charge to do the honoree. And so that form will be right there ready for you in the file section. And I think helping everyone be able to know every step, I think is really helpful now that she's got that together. So I hope you love that. All right, the next thing is fundraising. So as a reminder, our statewide organization does raise funds. And then, for example, with the t-shirt fundraiser that just happened, each chapter, so what is that? What did she say? 25 chapters? We're all going to get 2 more lamps. And what that means is whatever funds they raised to do that, she did equity. And at some point this year, when I need 2 lamps, I'll be able to get it free of charge. It won't come out of our funding. The ones we've already had came out of my personal pocket from the beginning. And then when we start to get, fundraising going, then we decide how we want to use it. So the fact that you guys contributed to buying a t-shirt obviously helped our chapter too, because we're going to get 2 of those little mini lamps to be able to have as stock items. So I think a round of applause for that. Yay. With fundraising, if you'll look on the agenda, she's got some examples of approved kind of ideas. The only kind of red flag is, I think we all wanted to like play bingo at one point, but there's a lot of gambling laws in Arkansas related to nonprofit work, so we can't do that. So don't read that one and think we can do it, but we probably do need to think about a fall chapter something fundraiser. So if anything on that list spark your interest, ladies, as far as what would you like to do, if anything? It could be virtual, it could be face to face. Since we aren't quote as active in the community, it might be helpful if we did something visibly where we could dress our nurse honor guard part and promote our network. Any thoughts about if anyone wants to do any fundraising this fall for our chapter? She's got silent auctions. Obviously, there was like Giving Tuesdays, online stuff called Split the Pot, like a 50-50 raffle, probably like where you donate something and then we do the 50-50. We could purchase something and sell it and kind of drive up raffles that way. Old school car wash, bake sale, just any of those creative things. So anybody done a fundraiser lately that they were thought was helpful that might be applicable to us?
I'm going to say no on the car wash.
No on the car wash. No manual labor. Save that for high school kids.
That's right.
That's so funny. I agree. Well, it's July, so if we were to do something fall wise, I would say advertise it for a month and then have it the next month. So that would already put us into October, but we probably wouldn't want to do anything November, December because of holidays and people's budgets and all of that jazz. So that really kind of only leaves us about 2 months to commit to something easy, or unless we do some online, something that was really easy. So if you have any brainstorming ideas, make sure to go back to our group and under this meeting tab where I have the agenda, I won't delete that post, like cleaning up the Facebook wall, but I'll leave it. And so if you think of something, go back there and like share that with the group. And then maybe we can decide something for sure next month. And do you think September, October might be a appropriate little small fundraiser?
Well, if we did October, we want to consider like Wiggins. because
Oh,
Wiggins Cabin is always the first part of October, and that would be getting us out in the community as well.
that is so smart. That's great. Good calendar thinking. Okay. I like that. I mean, I went to Wiggins last year. I ran a 5K with my daughter and got my age group. I got third. I got the little thing, you know. Okay, I mean, I like walk trotted. I didn't like totally run the whole, but it was more, some good girl bonding with my daughter in Jesus' name. That's what we did. So, has anybody been a vendor at Wiggins in the last few years? Anybody know what that process looks like?
I
No.
don't know much about it, but I could find out more. I know the church youth group did a bake sale, or I think they did caramel apples.
Mhm. You're right, because I remember the guy from Cloverdale, I bought some kind of bakery thing from them. They were there. Now with the Armadillo, we had to pay $50 for the spot, and then they told us when we could show up and when we had to leave. Now with Wiggins, I don't know if they have responsibilities of like um, all day. I am certainly not interested in staying all day. But um, you know what? Since they do have the race, I wonder if we could something simple early because they do the race and they do like the little pageant for the little people in the morning time. And then they have the boat races, remember?
Hmm.
So if we were dressed up and had a little tent, even if we uh, maybe I can reach out to someone to find out like, does the race have a water bottle sponsor? Maybe our nurse honor guard, we could hand out water bottles to the runners or something as nurses. I mean, I don't know. Do you like that idea or anything besides just sitting at a booth?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Or I don't know if we might I think we're supposed to have a Go Red meeting next week, but I think we're supposed to do a run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking September is when we decided. Um, just because of things being so busy, so we might could even be engaged with them. I don't because I know several of us are on both.
Yeah, yeah. And even if yeah, I mean whatever you guys are also involved in that's local, even if it's just one or two of us, that's it. Dressed with our cape. I think that's so important is the imagery, not just for picture purposes, but we can just set up a very easy tabletop and brochures and yeah, I think if you have races, water bottle things, wouldn't that be not cost effective is what I mean, not just cheap, but it might if they needed that kind of thing to hand out, whether we buy cases or they tell us how many they need and we raise funds for that too. I don't know, but like we do have some money, so maybe we could think about collaborating. So why don't you get us the dates when y'all decide, Amanda, and just circle back to our honor guard group online. And if you get the dates, you just be our representative to the heart people and say our group's willing to collaborate visibly. So, that's all part of what we can do if you want to.
Okay.
Okay. I love that. All right. The next thing is the honor walk and hero walks. How many of you have ever seen an honor walk in a hospital? Typically, a medical honor walk when a patient passes away and maybe they've donated their organs, or maybe it was a catastrophic event and they are, about to donate their organs, cancer care, even. Anyone ever seen an honor walk?
I mean, I've seen like when my father-in-law passed away, he was military,
Yeah.
and they had like the nurses and stuff stand as as they took his body out.
Hmm.
Is that something you're talking
I've
about?
only personally seen it once in my job life, and that was at Children's through the Aurora, ARORA, Arkansas Organ Recovery. And of course, they came up to Three Blue back then. And as the family decided to donate organs, then, um, there's a process for honoring them in the hallway as they're going to the OR with the staff and people who've cared for them. Well, the honor guard nationally, when Elsie and them, I believe, went to the conference, the Nebraska group about 6 months ago, I guess, posted their video and the groups have all been talking about it. Well, now our chapters are vested with, would we like to consider collaborating to do nurse honor guard, honor walks, hero walks for nurses, right? Um, who have these situations. And to clarify, I believe like the one we've seen on the video, Amanda watched it earlier, and she was a nurse herself, right?
Mhm.
And so I could be wrong, but I don't think it means we would do like your general organ donation honor walk if we found a hospital or an organization that wanted us to. I'm thinking because it's brand new with our chapter leader meeting. I'm thinking it's supposed to stick to the nurses. So obviously that even further makes it smaller population of opportunity, right? But if you've never seen it, the video is now posted in our group about the Nebraska honor walk in the hospital for that person. It's really impactful emotionally and it's beautiful. So in our Ashley County area, our hospital is the CrossFit Hospital, correct? Because the other cities don't have a hospital, right? Like Dermot, will those places, right? Montrose, they don't have a hospital, right?
Correct.
So in CrossFit, what happens to patients who are going to have organ donation? Does the corneal transplant team come in from Little Rock, or do they take the patient somewhere else?
Aurora comes,
Mhm.
I remember when they did a big harvesting, they sent a team and they did an ROR. But I do know that they have transported bodies to Little Rock to have it done. But the one that was donating everything, I mean, that's only one of the last 12 years that I've been there, and they did an ROR
How frequent do you think that is?
once in 12 years.
Once. Okay, sorry, I was having trouble here. Um, so yeah, it's a great new thing, but obviously, how often is that going to happen? I don't know. But we want to probably be prepared. So, what can we do in our community related to the honor walk? Sorry if you hear my Frenchie snoring. I just gave him his medicine. I mean, I'm sure I could find a contact for Aurora, let them know our Ashley County members are, especially the ones that work there, like you, could be a point of contact maybe. But obviously, since it's not like it happens a lot, then I think this is just a topic today for me to just bring about awareness and see if our chapter is interested in being involved in something like this, whatever that may look at like statewide or even locally, if that became a thing. So who's on board for ever doing an honor walk? Is it something you're like, no way, or maybe so?
I think it'd be cool.
Angel says they take the patient at Little Rock. Gerald is our contact. Okay.
I like the idea, but I don't know how much I might would be able to participate since I work in Monticello.
Mm-hmm. Well, like Angela said, like, okay, so if there was a patient, I mean, it's not like an emergent, it's happening like in the next 45 minutes. There's a planning phase. So I'm wondering, like at the hospital, who before they leave with the person's transport, would there be a process opportunity for us to have something like that? It may not be a walk because the body's not going to the OR in the CrossFit hospital, but would the honor guard visually kind of celebrate in a way? Let's see what she's writing down. Angela's texting in the chat. Gerald Curtis. Okay, I got that written down. So can you envision a way that like if it happened, what timeline you think that is? Is it like a 24-hour thing, a family or the physician determines and they decide?
I think they hold them in CCU, so there would be like when they took the body from CCU, I guess they would go out the back door. I mean, we could be in that hallway as they left with the body or something. I mean, if we actually wanted to do something in the hall, you know what I mean?
A very brief one. Okay. Wonder if there's any kind of hospital protocol / approval, who kind of thing. Well, y'all still work there. Y'all just start brainstorming and think about what that might look like as far as arrangements, what kind of process, if we ever did it, or prior to the person's agreement, all that leaving or family wise. I don't know. Okay. Engagement, motivating members. Obviously, connection is our big word for the fall. How do we get the people who are here checking in with each other? Basically, she suggests that we start to have some type of social things to do. I know we're all busy as nurses, but making sure your notifications are turned on in the chapter group, carpooling to events together if we ever have anything. So is there anything in particular you guys can think about? How can we engage our 11 members within our group right now? Is there a desire for anything to do socially? Like a little fall, go meet somewhere and eat together, maybe have our meeting like that next time, face to face, or I thought about like just doing something social, like I don't know, a bake party or a painting something, maybe didn't cost a lot of money, but like just see if anybody wanted to get together. I don't know. It's up to you guys. But you might be meeting out. But what we don't want to happen is we've been a chapter since 2023, and we are in that small rural area where we may not have much volume for a request, and we don't want our chapter to kind of fail due to lack of engagement and not have renewed activity or people every year when we want to have our membership meeting. And so to cultivate who we have now, 10 or 11 people, are we feeling trepidatious about lack of engagement, or are we okay with just we're good, we're part of it, and just kind of waiting? Or what are you guys' thoughts? I know we only have a few minutes left.
I wouldn't mind every now and then having a meeting like where we like met at Fiesta and ate and just met as. Because I mean,
Okay.
when we did the Armadillo Festival, I mean, I met a couple of people that I didn't know that were
Yeah.
members.
Okay.
That was nice.
If we did that and ate it like Fiesta in that room, obviously too, from a public point of view, we'd be able to share that we met. We've been meeting online, but we met face to face. Maybe people came from different areas, take a picture. Also, you can put that on the group page, might drive some more interest too. Okay. Well, I can plan that next meeting. We know we meet on the second Sundays of the month online, so that would literally be August. Of course, that's a little bit later to eat lunch, but after church, but you'd either be really hungry or just have a little snack. I don't know. So you guys want to do that? Try to make it at Fiesta, Linda's?
That's fine.
Okay. I'll make sure. That's why I didn't post it in the group, consecutively every month anymore virtually, because I did that the first time. And then when that ended, it cancels them all if you change it ever. So I'll just do it per month now, just in case we don't have a meeting or we change. Okay, great. All right. Well, that's unanimous. You guys decided. Let's eat and great. So Amanda told me she found some easels. Now, Amanda, did you decide, did you want to keep them on your person? I didn't really have room in my office right now. You were thinking about kind of donating them to our group. What were your decisions with your little easels that you found?
I definitely want to donate them to you guys, but whatever is convenient. If I need to hang on to them until we need them, or if there's, if storage is a place if somebody else wants to hang on to them, I'm okay with whatever. It was 3 tabletop easels, so
That
not
is,
the large, not
yeah,
the large ones, but the smaller ones. And I knew we had a need for that, so.
that is so helpful. I'm actively trying to get all of this honor guard stuff out of my office right now. I have a storage building. So depending on if I get it all there, I don't know, we might could grab them and eventually I would like to get some totes to put everything in, like this is honor guard stuff, right? So that way in the event I'm not here or whatever, someone else will always be like, those 3 things are related to honor guard, if that makes sense. So if you'll hang on to them for now, unless somebody wants to keep them, then the next time we meet, we can kind of figure out what we can start doing with all our stuff. Because things that we have paid for already, I don't want to just, get rid of, like all these balloons and the, glue gun and the markers and, all that stuff that we already have. So, okay, great. And then the last few things on the agenda really is just related to community outreach. in the fall, what's coming up? Health fair, farmers market. I know in Hamburg they have some stuff going on now. Do you guys want to attend something related to something patriotic? There's Wreaths of America, different parades, fire department events, local church or youth group things, nursing pinning or graduation ceremonies, or even a nursing class, maybe at UAM, CrossFit. Remember, I have to stay in our area where we would go speak. Is there anything that someone feels the heart to kind of help us all get going and do? And do we want to do a parade again this year for the holidays? We did the side by side thing last year.
That was fun.
Do we want to have any more things at the library even? Because it's free to rent that room as a nonprofit, which is why it's a great meeting space. Even if we have like craft stuff, or like if we were to do some kind of activity, quote, as an honor guard group with the public or with each other, it is a good space since it's so big and they have chairs and stuff. Only other thing too, we had promised the Hamburg Garden Club. Now they're off in the summer, but come September they start up again. That we would, as a collaborative community group, since Yours and Vine has helped us with the roses and cheaper pricing, go and do something in their little garden area. They did just get a big grant to redo their steeple. I think that's what it's called, the thing on top with the windows. They're going to have a lot of, I think, construction or, architectural renovation. So I thought, well, maybe this fall whenever that starts getting underway, I could let you guys know. And then maybe we could do some small little gardeny fall thing out there in the corner, whatever's not being touched, that says that we help do something. Are we okay to circle back about that? Okay. And then pretty much you guys just keep kind of watching obituaries, figuring out if the funeral homes are listing anything related to a nurse. Each of the ones that we've got our tables at tell me they understand the process, so that if they have a family member that has a nurse, they say they know to call. We still have our table set up. Now I know Metters moves ours around a lot because and they all have the right to kind of move it around. So if you ever can, just stop in one of the funeral homes that we've got our outreach tables at, check on them, see if they need any more brochures or any of the little cards, or just to say thank you. But I haven't gotten to the one in Hamburg, but I think Babs tries to do that every now and then at Cromwell and Jones Hartshorn. But if you're in Crosset and you ever head to Jones or Metters, please let us know that you stopped by. And if they need anything, please let me know. I'll get you whatever we need. Okay. And then there has been a virtual tribute done. Elsie has listed that in our chapter leader group. I have not seen it yet. And so I guess that is like the last option if we did not ever had participation and couldn't get one done. They recently just had to do that where they could not find anybody to attend and they didn't want to let the family down. So they did orchestrate a virtual tribute. So I'll be looking forward to us getting the link to see what that kind of looked like. So any questions? Okay. Well, I will kind of, let's see, put files in the Facebook group, reach out to Fiesta Linda's, and obviously we'll plan to show up there next time face to face. And our homework is to populate in the group if you have those events for fundraising and community engagement that you want to do. I want you to lead it. I want you to let us all